you remember that on that first lap, she was in 5th place. All right, on this front stretch, David Rediger, sponsored by Commander Industries, followed by Aaron Gawecki from Bullet Racing. And behind those guys
is the Mack Attack McCluggage. And here's that battle for 4th place still between Copenhagen and the ZA1 of Dustin Montzuris.
And I think Dustin thought originally he was going to make short work of that and get around him, and did actually get around him, and then Cody returned the favor. And now Cody not letting go until he goes off the boat. Almost went completely off.
And Montzuris going to have position as they work around that chicane. Top right-hand side of the track as we view it here from the Hidden Trails Yamaha Tower of Power.
Yeah, so it looked like Cody Copenhagen, just that minor miscalculation, able to hold on to it. But that slowed down just enough. Montzuris around him and moving up. Meanwhile, Mack is starting to try to gain some time on Aaron Gawecki on the left-hand side of the track as they go into the split section. Mack, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mack going to the inside, Gawecki going to the outside. Mack going to try to find some clean water, but nothing doing here at Sparks Marina today. Mack's going to come out about the same time, slides out just a little bit, and that is just enough to give Aaron Gawecki that edge that he needed. So Gawecki maintains his 2nd place position with Mack in his rearview mirror, and I'd be a little nervous.
It takes a lot of talent to be able to come into a race like this. He got our attention yesterday in that sport class, coming from last to 2nd place. And then to come in today and get a 2nd on this hole shot and still holding off Chris McCluggage, not only good for him, but I tell you what, that's giving Rediger the breathing room that he needed to. He's starting to walk away a little bit. David Rediger, another story for sure. It's so great to watch this kid. We watched him through the junior program, picked up by Commander this year to do the whole national tour, and look at him out in front. His dad's got to be so excited.
Well, I'll tell you what, going back a little further in the order, another rider on the move is Brock Austin out of Utah. And Brock moving up into that 5th place, also able to get around Copenhagen, who slides back to 6th. And now Austin with Montzuris in his crosshairs.
And Brock Austin, another one with a great story. Went to China this last year, went over in Dubai, and we had a slide out, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rediger coming out of the split, slid out just a little bit. And now Gawecki hot on his tail. McCluggage 1, 2, and 3 starting to separate from the pack, Dawn.
Yeah, they're separating from the pack, but Aaron Gawecki has moved closer to David Rediger, and that has taken that little cushion completely away. Meanwhile, Dustin Montzuris out here with some clean water in 4th. B-Rock in 5th.
Now, once again, yesterday we ran a qualifier, and these guys not running 3 motos like the rest of the field. These guys are only running one main event. So during qualifying yesterday, McCluggage took the 1st place position. Montzuris took a 2nd. Rediger took 3rd. Gawecki took 4th. And Copenhagen took 5th. During qualifying.
Yeah,
but again, that was all for show.
Right, it's all about the big deal here. When you look back a little bit further, in 7th place, you got the gentleman that got the torn muscle, Josh Block, running up in 7th. Even with, he could barely move that thing. Mack, meanwhile, is setting up for a pass, Mike, on the left-hand side of the track. You've got Rediger on the inside split, Chris McCluggage. Actually got past Gawecki already.
Yeah, McCluggage past Gawecki, and here he comes. Going to be side by side with Rediger as they come into the bubble right now. McCluggage will have position, trying to push Rediger wide, and does. So McCluggage moves into the lead. Rediger slides back to 2nd. Gawecki in 3rd. Montzuris in 4th. And Brock Austin in 5th. Wow.
Yeah, that was nuts. So he scooted by Aaron Gawecki on the splits and then started to work on David Rediger before the end of that front stretch. Had already shut that down.
Wow, McCluggage putting a worm on the hook and baiting the crowd.
Yeah, oh yeah.
My, oh my. I tell you what, kid's amazing.
I got to say, Aaron Gawecki needs to do the rest of this tour.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll go out on the limb there too.
Speaking of, I want to say a very special Father's Day thing to Steve Webster. Brittany last night texted me to say a couple of words on behalf of her for Father's Day, so I'm going to take just a quick moment if I can.
Aw.
So, Steve, I'm hoping that you're down there listening. I know you're probably a little nervous watching your riders, but Brittany just wanted to tell you that she loves you very much. And in her words, I miss you, and I hope you come back soon. Thank you so much for having such a great family. She said, me and the kids miss you. We think the world of you, and you're awesome, and then she loves you. Happy Father's Day, Steve Webster.
All right, back out to the race course action, and no lead changes during the Happy Father's Day wish right there. Still got McCluggage out in front of Rediger with Gawicki in that third spot. Mott's in fourth, and Austin in fifth. Copenhagen still in that sixth spot, going back a little bit further. For those of you who are maybe listening in at home.
Yep, in seventh, Josh Block.
I see ninth place is Wendricks, missed eighth place. We'll try to get him next time around. Dawn, 6 minutes down, 6 minutes to go.
Yikes. As he talked about yesterday, we actually changed the program this year. Yeah, so this year, big change for the ski class. Instead of doing a 2 or 3 moto system, what we've done is a qualifier, which you watched yesterday, and then we go straight to the main and the only moto for the ski GP class. So how you end up right here is it. And that is a big change for the national tour. It puts on, I think, put a little extra pressure on these guys, yes.
Oh, I seen one of the riders went down on their knees for a second. Almost went buoy to buoy. I believe it was a back marker, though. Is it? I believe that's Reniger that went down.
Yep.
And Gawicki able to get by, so Gawicki moves up into second place. Reniger slides back to third, collecting himself.
Yeah, he's still down in the tray. Maybe something going on with the boat there, just getting, as you said, collected. But that's not the time to do it. Matzuris moving in on him.
So McCluggage now working his way up into the back of the pack as the blue flag comes out from Nick Handler, our tower director.
Yep. And Rob Flores still out on the track. We talked about him earlier today, having to get checked out by the EMTs. Actually collapsed in that stock class. So as they come through, you've got on the right-hand side of the track, Chris McCluggage leading with Aaron Gawicki back in second, Redinger in third, and about 4 boats between Redinger and the fourth-place rider, Dustin Matzuris.
Brock Austin still in the fifth spot. Copenhagen making a pass by the flag stand. He is still in that sixth spot.
Yep.
And once again, now coming into lap traffic. And Don Dawson, this is where champions are made.
Oh, man, no kidding. It's seventh. Josh Block still hanging in with that torn arm muscle. I think it was the tricep he said he tore. Pete Zernick in eighth. It is so cool to be able to work with full gates here on the Ski GP class, and we have seen those kind of gates every single round as we fired off the 2015 Pro Watercross Tour. And there's something you don't see every day where you get a lap buoy or a lap rider flag actually coming up for Rob Flores. And that's because Chris McCluggage about 10 boats away from him. Boat number 17, that's Aaron Gawicki, the young gun, part of the Bullet Racing team. Tim Gawecki's got to be down there just jumping up and down.
Hey, by the way, Tanner Thomas, Chris Anazeski. Tanner Thomas or Chris Anazeski, please report to the stage. Tanner Thomas or Chris Anazeski, please report to the stage. Thank you.
So we're going to be doing... We were looking to have Freestyle Expedition next, but not sure that Tanner Thomas and Chris Anazeski are here. If you are, please report to the tower. Meanwhile, back out on the track is we take a look over on the left-hand side, going into that split section on the outside split. Chris McCluggage. You know, when I look back at those first couple of rounds, a place that he loves to come and play is the surf. It was so neat to have him down in his home state. He grew up in Naples, Florida, with the ability to play in the surf down there. He said it was so awesome. It was like a big vacation for him, but that is his favorite type of water to race in. Aaron Gawicki battling it with Dustin Matzuris, who got around Redinger, and now just made a pass on Aaron Gawicki on that right-hand side. Matzuris up in second place, and that was a huge move.
Once again, Chris Anazeski or Tanner Thomas, please let us know if you are here. Chris Anazeski, Tanner Thomas.
Again, just looking out on the track, Chris McCluggage leading as they come into that big sweeper turn, but the big story is the gentleman out of South Africa. When he first decided to come over to the United States, he was 14 years old, had already started racing and had made an impact on the States. I have to tell you, one of the biggest heartbreak races I saw, it's in 2011 when he got a piece of rubber stuck underneath his boat. He was actually leading the race, went down. Heartbreaking year for him, but one of the great quotes, we talk about Dustin as he is up in second. We got Chris McCluggage leading, goes to the right. And Dustin Motzurich on that front stretch in second place. And his whole attitude is nice guys don't have to finish last, and it's so indicative of this man's career. 17, that boat number 17, that bright green boat, that's Aaron Gawecki in third. Brock Austin is on the charge, one to get around Rediger. You are watching the main event in the final moto. It's the one moto that they are doing this year for 2015. So how they end up here is how it's going to look on the podium this afternoon as we do the award ceremony. Right here in Reno, Nevada, as we're counting down the laps, one more to go, one more minute to go on this one. As Chris McCluggage takes that inside split, drops to the front stretch. It's going to be the white flag for him.
Hey, by the way, stand by. Chris Anazeski and Tanner Thomas. You guys are up next. Chris Anazeski and Tanner Thomas. We've got a freestyle exhibition,
and now
ladies and gentlemen.
Now up in second, Dustin Motzurich working his way through lap traffic. In third, Aaron Gawecki on number 17. And in fourth, it's 152, David Rediger. And right behind him in fifth, 182, Brock Austin. Six, Cody Copenhaver. That's how it looks for the top six on the final lap. Josh Block riding injured. Was riding in seventh. I want to think maybe Kyle Ariza has moved up into seventh. Block 8. Pete Zernick on that 149 boat is 9. And we are on the final lap for
I'll tell
our
you
pro
what,
ski.
what a race it's been. A battle of attrition right here. Checkered flag coming out, and McCluggage putting it in cruise control. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your Pro Ski GP champ here at the U.S. Open of Watercross, the back attack, Chris McCluggage.
And Mike, what a great run. Didn't get the good start, but he didn't need it. That's the kind of way you make a championship. Dustin Motzurich coming in second. Aaron Gawecki for third. And David Rediger holding on for fourth after a fantastic hole shot and a great run. Fifth is going to be Brock Austin. And that is just the beginning of all this action that you've been seeing. You know what I mean now when we talk about all the craziness that's been happening in Reno, Nevada. All right, so it looks like our freestyle guys are here. Chris Anazeski and Tanner Thomas in the house. That's going to be followed by a Sport GP. Special thanks to the wonderful city of Sparks. For hosting the third round for the 2015 Hidden Trails Pro Watercross National Tour. Thank you guys so much for listening in to us on the live stream today. And you can see what we're talking about with these really extreme conditions out here. Who would have guessed, right? So if you're wondering why the camera's shaking, it's actually not Rick. This tower has been rocking. Okay, we're coming back to some freestyle. Tanner Thomas comes from us all the way from Alaska. One of the gentlemen that rides for the free ride. Chris Anazeski needs no introduction, but we will anyway.
All right, so once again, we've got a freestyle exhibition coming up from two of our favorite freestylers, and these guys couldn't live more far apart, but yet they're great friends.
Well, I tell you, they do. It's like almost a complete, it would seem like a complete continent on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Florida to Alaska.
Chris Anazeski from South Florida, and Tanner Thomas from all the way in Alaska.
Yep. I love following both of them. Tanner Thomas, of course, a lot of times actually working in a dry suit when he's out practicing.
Well, it was funny because Anazeski isn't used to how chill the water is here. And came up here, did an interview afterwards, and he was shaking. He was so cold.
Yeah, talking about Chris, who's down there getting ready right now. Chris has a kind of a unique nickname given to him by Mike Young. So his actual last name is Anazeski, but Mike likes to call him Chris Anajetski.
Anajetski, because that's all you're going to be watching right now, Chris Anajetski.
Right.
Chris going to be riding Tanner's Richter boat. Big shout out to Rad Rick Roy, if he's listening in, former freestyle extraordinaire and 5-time world champion.
You can tell they're good friends because Chris actually borrowing Tanner Thomas's boat, actually.
Hey, by the way, just as a reminder to you spectators out there, freestyle, these guys like to hear you out there. The louder that you guys get when these guys do tricks, the crazier that they're going to get out there. So once again, if you see something you like, get loud, get proud. And Anazeski, this water a little bit rougher than what a lot of these freestylers are used to. I mean, free riders maybe. Tanner's probably used to this kind of stuff. And Anazeski, big 360 flat spin. Let's try it again twice.
Make that too. I love how you are the master of understatement. It's just a little bit different out here. A little bit more wavy. Nice setup. Goes into a backflip.
And we were talking to Anazeski yesterday, and their boat is only getting about 60% power here at this altitude of 4,500 feet.
Yeah, he's really tuned, as you know. A lot of the surf guys like Tanner Thomas, they like to ride out in the ocean, so not used to having to dealing with these drastic changes in elevation. We're at 4,500 feet here in Sparks, Reno, Nevada. Wow, nice backflip, almost.
Yeah,
Didn't
nice backflip down to Davy Jones' locker. And you can tell he's stoked. As already going right into another setup wake.
You can see when you watch Chris locks those feet in, that typically indicates they want to try to do some kind of an aerial movement here.
Yeah, just 411 for some of you spectators out there. Nothing about this boat right here is stock. How about that? Oh! And again, going nose first. How about it? 2 360 flat spins into a 180 inverted nose stab.
Yeah.
Unofficially.
That's not actually a trick. Although it looked like one on TV.
I don't think he meant to do that.
No. But again, that's what you're talking about when you have that 60% horsepower. You can tell he's really having to manhandle this thing around.
Well, yeah, and you can tell he's been at the gym, too.
Yeah. You mentioned that yesterday.
If anybody can manhandle that Richter, it's Chris Anazeski.
Nice
backflip. Let's make it 2.
Or 1.5.
Or 1.5.
Still beautifully executed by him. Chris Anazeski, the gentleman that we watched on the national tour last year we talked about, came in as an amateur, was beating some of the pros. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Chris Anazeski. Ow! You so awesome.
All right, now we got Tanner Thomas going to take center stage, and I love the color of them shoes.
I do too. I got to tell you, see how good of friends they are? They're even sharing life jackets, skis. They're good buds. Tanner's like, man, you got my life jacket wet.
Yeah, it was funny
it's
when
cold.
When Chris was up here yesterday. We was interviewing Chris. He had to make sure that he gave that shout out that Tanner was 25 years old and single.
Yeah, what's up with that? I think Tanner paid him for that one. Mentioned he was a Sagittarius, like long walks in the park. Something like that. I can't remember the exact words. Then he was starting to give out his phone number, but stopped.
Right, and the soulful sounds of Anthrax.
Only Mike Young would come up with that one, right? Oh, that's awesome.
Good times. And again, while we have the opportunity, while Tanner's getting ready to go out there, I'd like to say a very special thanks to our good friends at Visit West Virginia, our official live stream sponsor here for the rest of the tour. And we hope you can visit West Virginia with all of us at the final round in Charleston.
Now, you notice as he was just getting in the tray, a couple of unique things about this boat. First off, these freestyle boats are much shorter than you would normally see coming out of a manufacturer's showroom. And as Mike said, nothing about this, including that trick.
Yeah, nice 360 flat spin over the checkered buoy.
Right, is stock.
Don't let Cliff see that.
Nope. I don't think Tanner's met Cliff Roy yet. All right, does another setup and a beautiful backflip. Makes it into a can flip, Mike.
Can flip into a 1-footer lander.
Nice. First time Mike and I met, Tanner Thomas was out at Surf Slam, brought to you by Blosion in September out of Pacific City, where he went for 10 minutes. Great 360. Makes it a double with a setup.
Nice. Oh, and able to hold on to it.
That was so cool. Actually landed on the bottom and then backed the boat up.
Stuck the landing. Olga Corbett
Literally.
would have been proud of that one.
Yeah, literally stuck the landing. That's fantastic. Again, this guy all the way out from Alaska. Sets up again on that gorgeous Richter boat.
Yeah, nice helicopter there.
Yep. With an off camber just to add to the difficulty of it. We need to get Tanner a signature Tanner trick. Nice backflip. That'll do it right there with a one-hander.
And into a one-hander lander.
Does another 180 setup into a backflip. Just noses that out. Just skim the nose a little bit on the end of it.
Hey, how about it, Sparks? Put your phones down for a second. Give this guy a round of applause. Come on now, stand up, clap, make some noise.
All right, Tanner doing another setup. Wow, Mike.
Yeah, Madonna copter.
I love it. That's a new modification.
That's right.
We see Madonna backflip, but that's the first time I've seen a Madonna helicopter. All right, coming in really close. That's an unusual thing for Tanner. Usually when they do the events in the ocean, they're pretty far out from the crowd. Nicely done. Big backflip as he's coming in.
Yeah, one-footer. Nice big amplitude on the 360 flat spin into helicopter. Lands it and drives it out. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, how about a nice round of applause for Tanner Thomas?
Tanner, you're awesome.
Great job, Tanner Thomas and Chris Anizeski. Little freestyle exhibition for everybody hanging out here with us.
Yep. In fact, you guys, do me a favor. Put your hands together for both of these guys, Chris Anizeski and Tanner Thomas. Thank you so much to both you guys for coming and doing the freestyle exhibition. You are watching all the action from Sparks, Nevada, right here for the third round of the 2015 Hidden Trails Pro Watercross National Tour.
That's right, Don, and we're going to be back to racing action with the Sport GP, the third race here of the Pro Show, and that's going to be coming up directly at 12:30. We're taking a short pause for the calls, going to feed the crew, but we'll be back in 2 and 2.